We need 12 demonstrators for this session. I'm looking for 12 people. It's a fun one. Mike promises it's fun. We need 11. 7. Okay, we're going to get started. This is Games as a Training Method with Mike and the Central Michigan staff.
All right, well, the purpose of this kind of segment is that we're going to talk about how we incorporate using games in our gym as a way that we try to get things done, right? So I don't think we have to necessarily choose between goofy games and getting better at volleyball. And I find that athletes really look forward to these elements of practice. You know, we do them multiple times per week. I wouldn't go as far as saying we do them every day. But I think one of the things that we like about these is it's a good intro to practice, right? Obviously, throughout a season, you know, we have to find ways to keep things fresh, keep things engaging with our athletes. And I hesitate using the word fun because it's got a connotation that says we can't work hard at the same time. But we have to keep things light and make practice a place that our athletes come and enjoy, right? I feel strongly that anything that you enjoy doing, you're going to be better at than things you hate doing, right? If you enjoy coaching, you're going to be a better coach. Obviously, you're here. If you enjoy playing the piano, you're more likely to play the piano, you're more likely to get better. If you hate drawing because you think you're bad at drawing, so you never draw, you never get better at that. So I feel strongly that our practice environment has to be a place that our athletes are really looking forward to going. Okay? And so I think that using games kind of as a training method is one way that we can get them locked in and kind of be a segue from their school day or their regular day into getting mentally ready for practice as much as physically warmed up for gameplay. So here's what we're going to do. We've got some demo people. They think we're playing 6-on-6. We are not. Okay? One of the things that we're going to do is we're going to start off with a little bit of shortcut. We call it dinky ball in our gym. But here's how we decide what teams are. Okay, so for all of our participants, you're going to line up alphabetically. A's over here, C's over there, by your spirit animal. The animal you most closely identify with. Go, you have 30 seconds. Armadillos are over here. Zebras are over here. Aardvarks. Communicate, talk to your teammates. Okay, every day we line up by a random question. It's also a little bit of team building. It could be the TV show we watched. It could be what we had for dinner. It could be how many hours of sleep we had last night. It really is irrelevant, okay? What I like about some of the training methods we use is that it randomizes our teams at all times. It prevents your two besties from being partners in every single drill. It also gets me off the hook as a head coach from the perception that I'm skewing the deck or stacking the deck for other people. So we're going to be playing dinky ball. At this point in practice, I would have written on the board that we're playing line draw dinky ball. They don't know what the question's going to be. They don't know how we're going to line up. Okay, in our gym, we would go very quickly through our spirit animal. Go. Cheetah, cow, dog, giraffe, horse. Well, what's that? A koala. Go. Leopard, lion, polar bear, scorpion, tiger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Find your partner. Okay, ones are together. Ones and twos. Listen, while we're got ones over here, twos over here, threes over here, fours over here, fives over here, sixes over here. Okay? This is what we call blind draw dinky ball. Okay, we set up, sometimes we'll do this with just an antenna down the middle. Okay, we are playing games. The boundaries for these or the 10-foot line is out of bounds. You've probably heard this game called short court. I was working at camp one time. I said, we're going to play short court. And I had a camper. All the whole camp was looking at me like, we don't know what you're talking about. We've never played this game. I described the game. And they all at the exact same time look at each other and said, dinky ball. That's what they called it. So now we call it dinky ball all the time. Okay? The purpose of this drill is a little bit of movement. It's a lot of short, kind of soft tips, rolls, those kind of things. The 10-foot line is out of bounds for us. Okay, it's 2v2 over there. We have 3 games that are simultaneously going around. Okay, in our gym, you would serve from behind the end line, which is the 10-foot line. You can set a ball over, tip the ball over, whatever you need to do, live serve the ball over the net. These games are timed for us on the board, so we would use maybe 3 minutes per round. And we run this as a ladder tournament, meaning our winning court is going to move this way. So if you win, you move up a court. If you lose, you move down a court. Okay, so it's 3 independent games. You're not worried about an official. Okay, the far side, you guys will be our first team that's serving over there. Let's see how this goes. So you would start with the serve. Okay, anything is legal in this game. You can jump, you can block, you can use 3 contacts, 2 contacts, 1 contact. Okay, everything is legal in this gym. Okay, it's self-run. Okay, so we get a lot of people playing. We can put up to, here's 12 people on a court here. I know that court space is limited sometimes. If you have 20 athletes for 1 court, maybe this isn't the game for you. Okay, we could extend it and kind of play a long, narrow court game. I like to play, this is called dinky ball. Okay, we can do a couple of things. We can either have a set time on the board where we hear a buzzer, 3 minutes. Okay, set timer on the board. Okay, or we can do a randomized time where we just call it, and it's like musical chairs. Okay. So we're going to say you have 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Okay, and time. So if you won, you're going to move 1 court this way towards our coaches. If you lost, you're going to move 1 court that way. And if you lost on that court, you would stay. If you win on this court, you would stay. Okay, we would repool, and we would then go again. Okay? Go ahead and get your next game started, okay? The things I like about this drill, the blind draw makes sure that it's really random who you have on your team. 2 middle blockers or 2 short kids are going to have to find a different way to win, okay? And so if you were at our training short kids kind of thing last night, okay, we have to figure out ways to win with the people and the personnel we have. So we had a situation, I had 2 players that came to our program a year ago, 2 defensive players. They got paired up randomly in this drill, and they started giving up. They started just working their way down our gym. Sometimes we've got 5 games of dinky ball going on simultaneously, and the ladder is a little bit long. After that practice, I brought them into my office. I said, what the heck was that about? You didn't even compete, right? They said, well, what a bad draw. We were 2 DSs on the same team. So they got an earful from me about what we have to do to compete. It's not that they lost, it's that they stopped trying, right? And that goes with our conversation that we had last night. Okay, and time. We would move again, okay? So the winners are sifting up, the losers are sifting down, okay? This would be a drill that we do to start off practice for the first maybe 10 or 12 minutes. This isn't a very long period of time, but this is dinky ball ladder tournament, okay? Yes, ma'am. Okay, so our courts are kind of lined up on the net. So we say, we just pick a random side. We say, okay, this side is going to be championship court. So when you win, no matter if you're on that side or this side, you move 1 court closer to championship court. If you lose, you move 1 court down to the toilet bowl down at the end of the down to that. Okay, but you would work all your way down to the other side. Okay, and so now you're getting likability to play together. Okay, and sometimes in our gym, we're going to talk about stats in a different session. Sometimes we'll track wins and losses for athletes, just to kind of get them locked into playing a little bit quicker. Okay, we could also play. Let's back up. Now we're going to play live volleyball, but you've got the full end line, so you can play all the way to the end line here. Different variations, more narrow court. In our gym, because we have a lot of courts available, typically we do this with half court. Okay, but we can play this with thirds, a little bit maybe more. We're not going to do this very often, but it's the exact same concept. Puts a lot of pressure on your server to be able to hit the ball straight. So we would actually have live serves here and play this ball out. You get that? Go ahead, you can get started. We're not going to play this one very long, but you can see that we can do variations of that. Okay? Okay, we would score this, again, 2-minute, 3-minute games. I like to play 3 or 4 rounds so that if a team starts on the end court, they can work their way all the way up to win the drill. I never try to put a team in a position that goes undefeated that they can't win the drill. Okay, you got the idea. We don't need to keep watching their report. Okay? The next thing we're going to do, now let's go with 3 people on the court here. Noodles off for me, please. 3 people on the court there. 3 people in waiting off the court there. 3 people in waiting off the court here. Okay, this is going to be a drill that we use a lot in lieu of ball control on days we need to fix things up. We call this no jump triples. Okay, very specific. You get 3 contacts. You must use 3 contacts on your side. Each person must be one of your 3 contacts, and you may not jump. That's really good for this group. No jumping. Okay, so you may not jump to attack the ball over. You may use a set over, pass over, tip a ball over. You can block if you've got really tall kids in your gym. Okay, but those kind of things is each person on your court gets 1 contact, and you're trying to score on the other side. Steph's going to start with the free ball. You're going to stay on your side. These 3 people are staying. If your side loses the 1 rally, you'll switch with the 3 people that would come in, and you'll just take their spot behind. Ready? Go. Okay, so no jump triple. So what we're looking for here in a drill like this is we're looking for teams to not just use this as a giant pepper drill, but to actually score and make the other team have to work. Right? So an open-handed tip short here would score because of how deep they're playing. We want to get our athletes used to reading the attacker's arm, reading kind of like what their ball quality is, and we're trying to get away from this being a giant pepper drill. So somebody's going to have to risk it for the biscuit here. Goodness. Now, if a group of 6 people just start playing pep, switch in, new ball coming. Okay, so you can do this where you wave one side or the other. You can do this in a queen of the court style where the winners go under. You can certainly do anything. So jumping and blocking, no bueno, right? You may not jump and block, good sir, as according to the rules. Stay down. No jumping, even baby jumps, I would kick you out. Cheating. You're cheating. Okay, stay down. I know it's tough for us. Okay, we wave in. This is called no jump triples, okay? I realize that in our gym, we might have a little bit more court space available. If you're pressed for space, this might not be the drill for you just because it only puts 3 people on a half a court. Okay, you can easily do this in a queen of the court style, but we'll use this in lieu of a ball control warm-up on certain days, okay? And important for us that we allow every player to hit one of the 3 contacts, Now, pause. I just made up a variation. We're going to try it, because why not, right? Every time your group of 3 sends the ball over, you've got to switch with the 3 people behind you, even if the ball is continuous. We're making this up on the fly, because I've actually never played in this variation before, but that seems like fun. Ready, go! Okay, so now 3 contacts. This new group is ready to come on. Okay, we get a little bit more people involved. Free ball would go over to the side that wins, allows the other side to regroup. We could keep a master score here, and we get a lot more people involved. I think you could probably have 9 people on this side, odd numbers. It would be fine if your groups of 3 are switching out, okay? We want this to be competitive for us, so it is not a giant pepper drill. We want our athletes to take some risks. Oh, good for you. Okay, and switch in. Okay, this is called no jump triples, okay? Go ahead and hold the balls. We got the idea, no jump triples. Actually, we can play that with jumping. In our gym, we use it in lieu of ball control as more of a movement, initial start to practice. So not jumping right off the bat is a good way to get our arms warm, get us moving here. So that's no jump triples, Any questions about that one? Pretty self-explanatory. Okay, the next thing, let's get everybody on the far side. Okay, let me get 2 people to stay over here, 2 people. Okay, we're going to talk about a game we like to play called speedball. Okay, this is my favorite drill. I would play this every day if my team wasn't bored of it. Okay, because I think it involves a lot of really good things that help us kind of move, see the court, work together. There's 6 phases of speedball. We're going to show them all, but we're going to go through them fairly quickly. A lot of times we'll pick 2 or 3 phases kind of within a 10-minute period and kind of rotate them through. Our athletes, once they understand the drill, it's very quick to go between the 2 phases. The first phase is called one catch, one throw. So this one, very simply, it always starts with the ball that's thrown. So Bree has the ball, and actually everybody behind her should get a ball as well. So everybody in that line will have a ball. It could be on either the left side or the right side. The rally always starts with a thrown ball. This is a really good step up if you coach 5th graders, 6th graders, young kids, okay? What this side's gonna do, you have to catch the first ball. Where you catch it from, you're throwing it over to the other side. You're trying to score on the other side. You have to catch that ball before it hits the ground. You get probably one step to control yourself, but the name of the game is Speedball, but also winning. But yeah, I like that. But the name of the game is Speedball. So we want to make sure that there's not a huge amount of time between catching and throwing, okay? Go ahead, throw, catch and throw, catch and throw. Okay, so we're working on kind of blanketing the court with our partner. Okay, this group is out, it's winners come under. Go ahead, so you guys will go back to the line over here. Okay, and you get to play it out. You guys are out, next group throws. Okay, now a couple of caveats to Speedball. This is the best part of Speedball. Pause here. There's 2 rules that you need to remember in Speedball outside of kind of what we're doing here. If the near side wins, or if the far side stays, right, so there's nobody that goes under the net, there is no limit to how fast the next group can throw in a ball, as long as the previous rally has ended. So whether they're ready, whether they're scrambling, hey, hold up, that's not a thing in Speedball. Okay, we're trying to push pace. If the near side wins and they have to come under, as soon as one of the 2 players hits the 10-foot line, you're free to throw that ball in. So we want to kind of push pace. You better hustle over. We're not going to wait for everybody to be super comfortable here. So let's see if we can't push a little pace in Speedball. Still phase 1, 1 catch, 1 throw. Okay, and if I'm behind, if you're playing in my gym and I jump in to play with our team, I am locked and loaded to throw that ball in right away. Okay, I will get a lot of aces in this gym because I'm ready to throw that ball in. That counts. Oh, I got your back. You're in. Yeah, you're still right there. Okay? A little over-anxious thrower right there. Okay, so let's initiate with the throw. This is phase 1, 1 catch, 1 throw. Okay? This is a really good evolution for younger players. Gets them to kind of see that I have to have range, I have to blanket the court. 900 square feet for 2 people is going to mean a lot of people hit the ground. Okay? Other variations I've played before is if one group just gets caught throwing the ball back and forth, and it's like a playground game of catch. Okay, the people behind, if it's more than 10 rallies, you can all yell out, boring, and then all 4 people are out, we just get 40 people in. So it takes the, we want to be aggressive. You have to try to score. If we're just going to play catch, then go play catch over there, right? So if, as a coach, you feel like you need to enact the boring rule, feel free to do that. That encourages us to be aggressive. Phase 2, okay? Now we catch the first ball. I toss it to my partner from where I catch it, and they have to use a non-jumping volleyball contact to put the ball over the net. The other side must catch the first ball, toss it to their partner, non-jumping volleyball contact. The second contact can move, so if I catch this ball here, I have to toss it from here, but I can lead my partner towards the net, so I can toss it to where I want them to go. I don't have to toss it to where they are at that moment. Okay, phase 2, 1 catch, okay, non-volleyball contact. Catch, toss to our partner, and you're trying to make this difficult for them. 1 catch, next ball, okay? So we catch, we throw to our partner, okay, we put it over. Okay, we can utilize this good chance to work on kind of an example of what Tia was just talking about, awkward swings over our shoulder. Okay, if your players get really smart at this, that's a savvy play right there. Okay, if your players get really smart, they start to realize that if they throw the first ball nice and deep, it really challenges that second contact to come from a pretty deep spot in the court. And if they're really, really smart, they're probably putting balls deep into the 5 zone, so that ball must be thrown to the right side, typically over the shoulder of a right-handed player. Okay? So this is phase 2. We don't allow them to jump, but we want them to blanket the court. Okay? You got the idea. Phase 3. Go ahead and pause, fellas. Okay? Because we're going to move into phase 3. What do you think phase 3 is? Now we allow them to jump. So we catch the first ball still. We toss it to our partner. We allow our partner to jump. Now, if you're playing in a high school gym, you might say that front row attacking is okay. If you feel like you've got a handful of people that are just going to stay on, hitting runway kind of tosses, you can take people out of the back row. You can tell people that after they score 3 points in the front row, they have to move to back row exclusively. You can kind of add on rules as you see fit. Okay, but we're going to allow us a first ball contact. We toss the ball to our partner, and they can attack it over the net. Okay, ready to go? This is definitely advantage kind of reception team. Okay, but we want to kind of encourage our athletes to be a lot more aggressive with stealing points back from the other side. Okay, so they catch it, it's a toss, okay, and we put it over there. You guys are running as soon as they get to the 10-foot line, good. Okay, and we tossed it up. Now, we can jump, we can tip, we can do anything we need to do. This is a really good level to work on out-of-system attacking, because these balls come from awkward angles. The quality of the toss is always different, right? You want them to communicate as to what they need here, okay? So this is phase three, okay? So one catch, and then we have a jumping context on the other side. Breeze out, okay? They hustle over, okay? Other variations of speedball is we can score this in a way that says anytime you win on the championship side, you get an individual point. If you have odd numbers of people, stop one second. If you have odd numbers of people in your group, it just changes up the pairings that you have, which is actually a really good thing. In fact, in our gym, a lot of times I'll add a person to be an odd number so that the same people aren't playing with each other all the time. Another caveat I probably should have added in the event that the person that's throwing misses their throw, throws it out of bounds, something like that. The other person stays on the court and a new thrower comes in. We don't blame the person for being on a teammate with somebody that can't throw a ball into where we can play in a helicopter. So we allow that other person to stay and we get the next person to throw in a ball from the other side. Okay, we're on the same page there. Okay, level 4, 5, and 6, all pretty self-explanatory. Okay, level 4 is one contact. We now no longer catch in level 4. One volleyball contact, send it back over. Okay, this version is sometimes called tennis, something like that, right? But now we start with the throw, it's got to go over, okay? And so now we're keeping our shoulders forward. What's that for you? Okay, so we keep our shoulders forward, we can pass it, we can set it. Occasionally you'll see somebody reach up and attack it back over, but again, one contact, you must use one, okay? Pretty simple, this is level 4. Okay, level 5, you can probably see a pattern here. What's level 5? 2 contacts, okay? So now we're going to move to level 5. We're going to move to level 5. So it's 2 contacts. And it's more importantly, it's must use 2 contacts. You may not send the ball over on one. Okay, so you must use 2 contacts. This is my favorite level of speedball. I think it rewards really quality high first ball contact, okay, and purposeful first contact. I think 3 contacts kind of lets you off the hook sometimes because you get an opportunity to fix your mistake. Okay? But it's just kind of 2 contacts here. Okay? Okay, we're going to go to level 6. Level 6 is how many contacts? 3 contacts. We have a fancy name for this level. We call it volleyball. Okay? So, 3 contacts, but more importantly, is you must use 3 contacts. You may not use 2, okay, you may not use 1. So anytime that ball hits, it's certainly advantage attackers here. Players could choose to block, but it really values a good first ball contact here. Okay? So this is speedball in a nutshell. Like I said, once you get your athletes to understand what the different phases are, it's a pretty quick transition. First day takes maybe a little bit. Okay? Hey, I'm proud of you. Good job. Good work. Okay, so hold the balls here, hold the balls. Okay, that's speedball in a nutshell. Speedball in a nutshell. Usually we would do that, only 2 or 3 variations of that. It's not all 6 every day. Sometimes the athletes will always want to do more offensive playing, but we almost always end with 3 contacts, and we almost always start with the catch and the throw, and then we vary kind of what's in there. Any questions about speedball? Okay. Multi-gyms, I think this is a good thing to do, maybe to start off an entire gym of practice. You could have varsity, JV, freshmen. You could say, hey, after you lose on this court, you have to go to another court. I think it's a really good way to kind of intermix players for your program, the big program culture, so that you've got a senior with a freshman. It's a 10-minute drill, and it kind of incorporates people. That's just my 2 cents about that. That's speedball, one of my favorites that we work on. Okay, any questions about that? Ooh, perfect. We're going to move into a drill we call burn. Burn. Give me 4 people over here. Give me 4 people over here. And give me 4 people here at the antenna. Steph, can you be on this side? Sorry to make you walk so far. Do the best. Okay, 4 people. Okay, this is a drill we call burn. Burn. Okay, so it's another drill where if you get to play hard, you play more, right? And you'll see that theme with some of the things that we work on. We talked yesterday that's, I feel like one of the biggest motivators for people is the idea that if I play hard, I get to play maybe more. I get more opportunity. That's kind of what this drill is about. This is a 4v4 drill. It's called burn. Okay, Steph's going to chip in a free ball. We can play front row, back row. It's really 3 contacts. No limit volleyballs. No real extra rules. Okay, other than these rules. Okay, if a ball hits the ground on your side and nobody touches it, nobody gets a fingernail on it, okay, your team is immediately burned off the court, right? This is a really good drill for those kids that don't really want to play hard. Sweet, go to the back of the line. Okay, now, we enter from the posts, so these 4 people in line. This could be 8 people, this could be 12 people, it could be as many people as you need. It doesn't have to be a multiple of 4. The next 4 people in line would be ready to jump onto the side that loses. So instead of having a winning side, we run over there. It just whoever wins stays, and you guys replace whoever loses, okay? We're playing best of 5 balls, okay? Unless there's a burn first. If my team's up 2-0 and we let a ball hit the ground without anybody touching it, my team immediately loses. You'll hear me yell out the phrase burn, okay? If there's a burn, Steph is going to feed a free ball to the side that stays, and that gives them just enough time to get on here, and they better work to get onto this court fast. Okay, the first rule of burn is if the ball hits the ground, then we have to, then we get burned off the court. Let's try that. Go. 4v4 is a lot of space to cover. There's no limitations in this drill that multiple people have to play the ball. Okay? Any ball that just is a scored point that doesn't hit the ground without anybody touching it just goes on the scoreboard as being an opportunity that they'd be up 1-0. Okay? So that would be 1-0 far side ball. No burn. The ball didn't hit the ground without anybody touching it. Okay, the whole idea of this particular drill is we're trying to create this urgency on our side that says we're going to reward you for just playing hard. Okay? And that includes coverage balls. I got the score at 2-1. Oh boy. 2-1 far side. It's 2-2. This is a money ball. Money ball means whoever wins this rally wins the point. Okay? And that ball's down. So that side lost, not because they got burned off, but because they lost the drill 3-2. Okay, let's let a ball hit the ground. Burn! You guys are off. So the ball hits the ground, it's just an immediate burn. We call it out, 4 people step on. Okay, that's variation 1 of speedball, right? If you're trying to get athletes in your gym to play harder, to dive after balls, to get gritty, you're trying to get them to get a fingernail on it. It doesn't matter if they shake it into the bleachers, they're still going to lose that rally or that point, but they're not going to get kicked off the floor. And I think that corresponds to some of that substitution pepper if you were at the session yesterday. It's not about being perfect, but we do have an expectation of the way we play. Okay, I have no idea what the score is. Ooh! Oh, you're all right. You're the champ. Ooh, bird! This side's off. Okay, we got the idea. Okay? So, a couple ways to play this. You see this side over there is kind of having Rachel up there play at the front of the net, and they're playing 3 people deep. Okay? In our gym, sometimes we'll play 2 people up front, 2 people deep. It's irrelevant. We let our athletes make those decisions kind of in our gym. Okay? Having 4 people defend 900 square feet leaves us a little vulnerable. We've got to have range to get fingernails underneath the ball. Okay, another variation of the rule that we can do is anytime you make an unforced attack error, okay, so if on my side you send me, I hammer the ball out of bounds. Me, only individually me, I have to run back and touch the back wall before I can come back into that rally. So my team's playing down 4-3 for probably 5 seconds, or as fast as that person wants to work. The game is not over, it is not a burn, the burn rule still applies, but any unforced attack error is going to send that attacker to the back wall before they can come back into the drill. Now as they send themselves to the back wall, it's going to open us up to be a little vulnerable, right? So if the other team wants to go over on 1, try to exploit the fact that we have less people, the people on my side, if we only have 3, you probably have to balance out the court. Let's see what that looks like. So the burn rule is still in effect, and the unforced error rule is in effect. Good. 1-0 near side here. Okay, unforced error, send to the back wall. So everybody stays. We're playing down 3-4-3 here. Come on back. As soon as you're back, you can jump right back in. She touched it on the cover ball, so that's just 1 rally. Any ball that's blocked, if it's not covered with at least a fingernail, would be an immediate burn. Okay, the higher level that you coach, or the more terminal your team is, the more likely you're going to be exposing more and more burns there. That's a burn. This side's off. 4 new people step on. Okay, the last rule that we can do. Pause here. Okay, so that's rule number 2. You can add that, okay, it just kind of is a way to kind of keep your players aware of their quality of contact, managing rallies. Their third rule, we don't use this rule all the time. I think this rule is really good for young players when we play at camp. Anytime you can't get an attack out of the third option, your team must go touch either the sideline or the end line before we can get back into the drill. Okay? If we touch the ball without doing that, okay, we would be in violation. We would get burned off the court. So my team, tough first contact, second contact, we have to free ball it over. Everybody on the team has to get to either the sideline or the end line and touch it with their foot before they come back. Where are we pretty vulnerable for just a second? The dead center of the court. So we better work hard, right? And if another team gets a free ball, they can maybe test that center of the court really quickly by seeing if you can't get back there. Okay, the rally keeps going. Okay, let's go. The near side, you're going to do a first ball free ball. You're then going to touch the end line, so we're going to make you do that. Go. So again, we wouldn't make athletes do that. So since they did that, they all retreat and they get right back into the play. That's a burn. So this side's out. 4 new people come in. So we start layering drills on top of each other, layering rules on top of each other. Okay, attack there, very nice. Burn, okay? So Rachel does not have to use 3 contacts. She gets the burn, okay? Any ball that's not attacked, that's a burn. You guys are out. You got the idea, okay? We're not going to belabor that point. Go ahead and give these guys a hand, okay? This is burn. Any questions about burn? They just want to keep playing. I like that. Just keep playing. Who cares? Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to kind of verbalize this, but you guys can keep playing. Why not? You guys are having fun. Okay. Other things I like to do, especially in gyms that have basketball hoops. Okay. If the basketball hoops were down, I would demo this. I thought we would have it. Okay. A couple things that we like to do with our backboards. We call it backboard ball control. Okay, the ability to stand at the free throw line, serve the ball off the backboard, and pass its rebound back into the hoop. Okay, so sometimes if you're in a gym that's got 6 basketball hoops, you might take 2 or 3 kids per hoop. Okay, you're kind of getting them to be on the backboard. Some variations of that, we would demo that. I think you can visualize is to serve off the backboard, pass it into the hoop. We have a term in our gym called clanker. Clanker. Anything that hits the target but bounces out is considered a clanker. Okay, so a clanker in basketball would be a ball that hits the rim but misses. We usually give 1 point for a clanker. We give 3 points if it goes into the hoop. And we can serve it off the backboard, pass it in, serve it off the backboard, set it in, top spin off the backboard, all different variations of that. So use the hoop as a training method, you know, especially for high school gyms that have a lot of hoops in the way all the time. Okay, the other variation of that we could do is we have the hoop down. We're going to use our Imagine hats. We actually serve from this side of the key. It's going to give us a far different angle, and now it creates a crossover move of serving this ball at the backboard and crossing over and trying to get that ball into the hoop. So using the hoops in your basketball, in your gyms to kind of be kind of ball control things are sometimes good tips there. Yeah, good question. So it is the same person, right? So you reap what you sow. So if you can't serve the ball at the backboard, well, it's another good rep for you to try to get hand contact. So we're working on kind of getting our arm warmed up a little bit. It's a pretty, easy serve. It's not like they're hammering it into the backboard. They'll realize you'll have kids that will just hammer balls at the backboard and they'll bounce way over their head. So it allows them to kind of start working on some of that hand contact, that touch, the things that they need to work on there. There's a learning curve to it, but you can put all sorts of caveats on it, and you can kind of come up with different variations of that. We serve them from off center, so it gives us the bank off the backboard. They start to learn that if they serve the left side of the backboard, the angle isn't as it seems. They won't figure that out right away, but it's then kind of getting them to lock into that contact. That's called backboard ball control. Backboard ball control. Okay, I want you guys to line up here. You're going to line up shortest to tallest over here. Shortest to tallest. Shortest to tallest. Okay, this is a game we play in our gym. We play this game once a week in our gym, and our kids love it. We keep a running scores on our whiteboards throughout the entire season. At the end of the season, do you know what the final score was? That was an 8-6. Who won it? The bigs. So we play bigs versus littles in our gym. This is how it works. We take the tallest kids, and we put them on what? 6. Good. Littles, you guys go over here. 6v6, 6v6. Okay, so we play bigs versus littles, okay? It feels unfair, okay? In our gym, actually both of our centers, or one of our centers is on that side, so that kind of skews a little bit. But we want to get people a little bit of player appreciation, position appreciation. So this game is initiated with a free ball. That'll come from Steph. Okay, the name of the game here is really just win the rally, but every time the ball crosses the net, you have to rotate one position. So every time you send the ball over the net, you got to click 1. In our gym, middle front is our center no matter what, because we want to work on second ball skills. This is a drill that can turn really goofy. We want it to be fun, but we also want it to be engaging and actually get us better at volleyball. So we don't necessarily want to just be goofing around. It's important that our bigs be able to handle the ball. It's important that our littles be able to put a good swing in play, okay, cover those kind of things. Again, this kind of is piggybacking. Steph, you can go ahead. This kind of piggybacks on last night's conversation, where you want your littles to kind of rally together and say, we can win even though it's different than the other side. Okay. Make sure that every time we send the ball over, we have to rotate. Pause here. So, if I'm on team little over here, and I take a lot of pride in the littles because I'm a lifetime little, right? We have to be better. We said this last night at the presentation if you had a chance. What do we have to be good at? Covering, right? Because if we're going to win this drill, we need to be aggressive, but we can't get caught up in switching before we've done our job. So we want to make sure that we're allowing our attacker to be as aggressive as they want to be. We have to take some risks in this drill, right? But we can't we got to have littles play a little bigger than they are, and the bigs have to play sometimes smaller than they are with their ball control and their ability to handle the ball. Okay? So we want to put pressure on each team. Go ahead. We play games to 15 in our gym. Like I said, we play this drill as a warm-up game once a week, and it goes up on our board. It's a big point of pride. A big issue in our gym is like if we have somebody out for the day, let's say with sickness or mental health day, something like that, and we line up tallest to shortest every single time we do this drill, and sometimes that line between bigs and smalls changes based on who's available that day for practice. Make sure you're rotating here. All right, let's say this is game point. I think we got the idea. It's tall people versus short people. Okay, but your team really rallies around that. You get your bigs to feel like they're a collective unit, your littles, and then whoever wins typically like dances around on their side and like bigs, bigs, bigs. And the other side's just upset for the rest of practice. Okay? That's bigs versus littles. Can be fun. It's not that complicated of a drill, but that's one of our variations that we could have. Okay, the next thing that we could do, can we do a fun one? You guys okay with the fun one? This one's silly, but you'll like it. Okay, this is called Dino Ball. Here's how it works. You've got to put your, this is such a dumb game, but your kids will love this game. You've got to put your arms in your sleeves, and your elbows have to be underneath your shoulders here. You just have to kind of pull them just kind of below. Good. My man over here has got it, so we've got little arms here, like a T-Rex. Okay, so we play, this is based on free balls, this is a goofy game. This is one of those things. I wouldn't do this on the first day of preseason, but if you feel like your team needs a little pick-me-up, maybe you lost, maybe you got to get some life back into your gym, this is called Dino Ball. Anything is legal in this drill as long as you kind of have your arms into your sleeves. They look ridiculous. We're going to make them play this for like 2 minutes, but your kids will like this game. It's called Dino Ball, like this little match. Now it's full court. You got it. Ready? Free balls, go! Don't be afraid to attack. Rotate every time the ball goes over. That's fine. Okay, you got the idea of Dino Ball, yeah? Dino Ball is kind of fun. It's an absurd game to get game started. I'll give you another absurd one. Everybody grab a volleyball. Everybody grab a volleyball. Okay, this is a game, I have no idea why we call this game Albania. It has nothing to do with the country. It existed long before I played. Okay, in this game, Steph's going to chip in a free ball. The goal of this game, 6 on the court, both sides. Okay, you can only play the ball that's in the air with the ball that you're holding. Okay, so you're now using your ball to deflect the ball over the net. You can set a teammate. If at any time you drop your ball, okay, if you drop your ball, your team loses the rally. Okay, you can attack overhead. Pro tip, I think you want to play balls over your head more than playing balls kind of down here because you'll fire it right back into your face. And then we're all going to see that. Okay, so play balls nice and high. Let's see this. We call this game Albania. These are more goofy drills that just keep morale high. Okay. We're probably not getting better at volleyball at this point, but when morale dips throughout a year, you know, sometimes we let the see. I told you, pro tip, man. You don't listen. Play that ball high over your head. Okay? You got the idea. Okay, a little bit of movement, a little bit of fun, a little bit of cohesion for big kids, small kids. It's not a volleyball game. Why do these games matter? To me, I'll give you my opinion. I think this is a game that kids on your bench, they can be good at. Right? This is a game that people that don't play can win the drill. If we do only volleyball drills, we probably see the same winners a lot. And I think there's a place in our gym for showing value to everybody, getting hype over somebody that wins. That game's called Albania. Okay? Let me get 2 people on the court. Do I have time? How am I doing? I got 1 more? Pretty good. All right, we're going to show you, we're going to play a game called Don't Drop the Baby. Don't drop the baby. Okay, give me 2 people over here. You need 1 ball. That's your baby. Give me 2 people on that side. You need 1 ball. That's your baby. Okay? So the name of this game is Don't Drop the Baby. If you have multicolored balls in your gym, sometimes that can be helpful to identify which ball is which, but they should be able to get it. The name of the game here is that it's 2-on-2. Steph's going to chip in a free ball. We'll say for right now that you must use, we'll go right into 3 contacts because we're able-bodied. Okay? The name of the game is you may not play a ball if you're holding the baby. So Kelsey has the baby right now. So she has to pass that ball back to her teammate while she's playing the ball, and then that ball will transfer between them. If at any point the baby hits the ground, your team loses. Okay? So you get 3 contacts, and you may not play a ball while holding the baby, even if you protect the baby. Okay? So you got that idea? We now kind of move this ball back and forth. Okay? We then have to communicate, and we can do, oh boy. So the baby is gone. You guys can rotate under. We toss the baby into the next group, and we chip in a free ball. Ready, go? I think this is a really good game. It's a combination of a little bit of a groupie game, a coordination drill, and certainly a communication drill. Okay? I throw this drill out when I feel like we're being super quiet walking into the gym. When it feels like we're in a mood, when it feels like, man, you're dreading practice today, there's no way to be successful at this drill unless you're communicating. Okay, it's a little bit fun, it's a little bit goofy. Okay, we can also play this drill. We'll give them a couple more chances. Okay, you see them doing a pretty good job. The thing I like about this drill is it can tell you who stays calm and poised throughout a rally. This is a chaos drill. And so people that communicate through that chaos, there's a really good place for them on our court. You'll find that people throw the ball and the ball's nowhere near them sometimes. Right? Like they just panic and they're like, I don't know what I'm doing, right? And so there's a learning because these guys are doing really well with kind of day 1 to this. Okay? Now we're gonna make it more challenging. Pause. Okay, give me a 3rd person on this side, give me a 3rd person on that side. 3rd person over here. Don't drop the baby. Step in. 2 babies. No, you're right. 2 babies on the court. Okay, so now we have 3 people on the court. We have 2 babies. The babies may not touch the ground, and a person may not be holding twins. Okay, so they have to be. You may not be holding 2 babies at one time. Okay, you must use 3 contacts. Okay, let's see how this works. Well, that's pretty good. Oh boy, we got 4 people, babies everywhere. I appreciate your hustle. You're out. All right, here we go. 3 people. I need a 3rd person on the far side. Okay, we have to communicate and use purpose kind of in a drill like this. Okay, it can turn chaotic at times, but I think working through that with people and sometimes, oh boy. You unfit mother. Nah, you're fine. Okay. You might need a, let's see. Alright, so you get the idea. Okay, this is don't drop the baby. Sometimes you might have somebody else in the cart. It can be helpful in a drill like this that you're 1 coach or player chipping in 3 balls, and then you have maybe a coach over here or another player, a manager, something like that, that just becomes like the adoption board that just kind of keeps bouncing babies into people as they okay? So that makes the drill can go pretty quickly. All these drills can be played. We have 12 out people. We can play these with 15. Some drills, I think, take into consideration how many people you have on your court, how you can keep them the most involved. That game I wouldn't play if I have 30 kids on that court. There's just not enough movement and opportunity to play. Okay, so these are variations of drills. I got more. If somebody wants to talk to me one-on-one, but I don't want to over-talk. I just think games are a really great way of keeping people engaged in what we're doing. It kind of helps identify what the competitive kids on your team are, and whether it's very much a volleyball game like no jump triples or speedball that kind of relies on volley skill. I think there is a place in our gyms at times for a little bit of goofy games to kind of let the pressure out. Maybe we've lost a game or 2. Maybe we're not having so much fun playing volleyball. but to just get them to kind of enjoy the company of their teammates, to recognize maybe some of those players on our team that maybe don't get a chance to play on Friday and Saturday night. Maybe they're really good at speedball, or maybe they're really good at some of these other things. And I think we just only really give them a high five, we recognize them, whoever won the drill, snaps for you, and we move into practice. These games take up probably no more than 15 minutes of practice at any given time, so these are not what we do for 2 hours and 15 minutes. But I think it's just a really good precursor to get us in a mental mindset that we're here to compete and we should enjoy what we're doing. I love when I put up the drill on the board and everybody's like, yes, I love this drill. Like this drill I'm really good at. And I think there's a place for that in all of our sport. Before questions, let's give these guys a round of applause. Probably a lot of good games for these guys. I appreciate you. They did a really nice job. Any questions about games? Anybody have any games they want to teach us? We got like 5 minutes. Any questions about rules? Rachel, what do you got? Alright, give me 6 on 6. You want to play Swedish? Can you guys do one more? This game is called Swedish. I don't know why it's called Swedish. Yeah, go. Shorty Bang Bangs? Shorty Bang Bangs would be people that are like little attackers. Our Nuggets would be our defenders. Alright, this is a game that we call Swedish. Here's how it goes. We start with a serve on both end lines, so it should be 6 on 6. Give me whatever. We can play 5 on 5. You'll get the point. Okay, the goal of this drill. 2 things are important in this drill. 3, 2, 1, we're going to serve at the same time. So there's going to be 2 balls in play. This is a really important rule. In our gym, we do not allow our attackers to jump and attack in this drill. Okay, because we've got 2 balls in the air. We don't want there to be looking at one, concussions, all of those things. So this is a non-jumping drill and no attacking. We made down ball balls. Okay, the goal of this is both balls get served at the same time. So the first ball's on your side, second first ball's on your side. Your goal is to try to kill both of these balls or get them down on your partner's side simultaneously. If this ball hits the ground on your side, your job is to get that ball, send your server back, and serve it back into play before the other ball dies. If you can do that, we're back alive and playing. In the meantime, the other side's trying to get the second ball to be killed on your side. Now, 2 rules here is the only person that can serve or run to go get the ball is the server, which in this case is Rachel, in this case, Sarah. So if Sarah hits the ball out of bounds and it's long and it's over by Snap Rays over there, she's got to sprint to the other side of the gym to get the ball, bring it back, and serve it from her own end line. Let's see what that looks like. Ready to go? We usually play games to like 3. All right. Now, the so you got to serve this ball. So since this ball hit on your side, Sarah, since this ball, Sarah, you got pause. Sorry, I've explained that really poorly, apparently. Okay, so this ball is being served. Okay, we have to play Rachel's ball. At the same time, Sarah's going to serve the ball. You guys are playing Sarah's ball. If a ball ever lands on your side that wouldn't otherwise be a point against you, your job is to get that ball and serve it back into play before that second ball hits the ground on your side. So it's chaos, right? We have to communicate. Ready, go? 3, 2, 1, Swedish. That ball hit the ground. You guys have to reserve that one. Okay? So it's good. So now we're back to even here. No jumping. That ball hit the ground. Sarah's got to serve that ball again. Okay? Good. That ball hit the ground. Rachel, so that both of those balls are down at the same time. Did you see that? Sorry, Sarah, wasn't that ball in bounds? Am I crazy? Yeah, so that's not your ball because it landed in the court over there. So if you hit it, you're ripped. I love your hustle. But that ball hit on their side. So that's your responsibility to put that ball back in play. Now, because Rachel couldn't get that ball and that ball hit the ground, this side is up 1-0. We can flip front row and back row. We get a new server, those kind of things. Okay? A little bit of organized chaos there. We want our athletes to be calm and composed through chaos. Right? And that's what we're trying to create in this drill. That's Swedish. That's a quick version of that. We would rotate, play that way, those kind of things. That's a good drill. I forgot about that. Any other questions, comments, concerns, gripes, or complaints? Yeah, keep it yourself. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, everybody.
left. So everybody can go to the luncheon. We do have lunch for everybody. So come up here, go to the left by the cafeteria. We will have lunch.